we want to talk about the kids. We want to talk about Joseph. And Mom, can you say what you know about Uncle Joe? Just asking for basics for the family history, right, Dana? Mm-hmm. Just for family history. Uncle Joe was married how many times? Three times. Who are his children?
Joseph.
Right here.
Yeah. And Richard. Weren't Richard?
Right.
And Richard. Yeah. Yes, he's married 3 times.
Did he have any other kids with the others?
He lived in British Columbia. My parents went out to Vancouver Island to visit.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was married to Dorothy.
Dorothy?
And when the Hungarian Revolution happened in Hungary in the 50s, he acted as a translator. Was it then?
Yeah, same here. No,
Couldn't have been.
Couldn't have
Jacket for who?
He was dead.
He acted as a translator, I know that, to Hungarian refugees coming into Canada. Okay, what about Steve? Steve was married once to Mildred.
He was a prince.
And his children were William and Richard. And his wife, and we said his wife's name was Mildred. Okay. For the family history, which is good to know, he suffered from rheumatoid arthritis, and he had both of his legs amputated. Right, Uncle Alex?
True.
Yeah. And didn't he do something with clocks?
Yeah. When he had his leg cut off here, he took up clock repair. Has some back.
And they lived in Erie a long time. Did he live here all his life?
No, he didn't. He used to live in Dayton, Ohio. Dayton.
Okay. Okay. Steve is deceased. We don't know about Mildred. We think she's deceased. Joseph is deceased. Frank. Uncle Frank. How many times Uncle Frank?
Uncle Frank. You see, there was Alva.
She was a princess.
There was one.
She used to make homemade potato chips.
I don't know.
Yep, I remember. I was pretty little. And we'd go out to the gas station. Uncle Frank had a gas station.
Right at the bottom of the hill by the mall.
Right out by where the Milk Creek Mall. Right across the street
curve
at the end before you get out onto Peach Street.
Before they had roads over there.
Yep, yep,
There used to be an airport across the street.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Fired.
Yeah.
yep. And I only know this as a story. I don't know if I should repeat it or not, but they'd play cards and he'd get so mad he'd rip the deck in
Oh,
half.
yeah. Yeah.
My
Uncle
dad?
Frank.
Oh, that I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he had Frank and James, right? Jimmy.
Frank Jr. and
Okay, he had Frank and Jimmy.
Frank really kind of confused now. I don't know if anybody knows where Frank lives.
What'd you say there? What was that?
I'm not going to eat no more than that.
Frank and Jimmy, what do you know about Frank's kids, Frank and Jimmy?
Nice boy. That's all I can say.
Well,
Frank was married.
That I never.
Young Frank early.
Oh, I didn't know that
The meeting of You'll
either.
But he was married 3 times.
Oh, was he?
But I think his first wife died.
now we're going in the order of age also. I might put that in, starting with the eldest, Joseph, then Steve, then Frank. Then the first girl to arrive is Helen. Helen married
Raymond
Bargowski, known as Uncle Mickey.
My godmother.
Yes, it is. And they owned what?
Mickey's
Dress
dress
on Parade Street.
1809.
You two are a match set.
Right.
And they
whole
both
area.
worked in it, right?
Yes.
Both of them worked in there.
Yep.
I used to stop in there when I was a kid to have breakfast.
So they ran the restaurant. They had 2 children, Susan and Michael.
Right.
And Susan went to Mercyhurst. Did Michael go to prep?
Yes.
I think so. And They both moved away, the kids, when they grew up. Susan
died.
Yes, Susan moved to California, and Michael is a wildlife artist in Idaho. He made a career out of the Navy, nuclear submarines.
Yes.
He was an instructor in the end. I'm not sure what he did.
And that's why they moved there, because
He'd been in Hawaii too, Michael had him. And they settled down in Idaho.
Boise, Idaho.
And Michael's artwork has been on the front of wildlife magazines and Idaho State Magazine. Okay. Michael and his family are still out in Idaho, and Uncle Mickey has passed away. He was in his 90s, right? Aunt Helen and Uncle Mickey attended Mass every single day. They would travel to different churches and go to church. Uncle Mickey would work out every day. The reason I know this is because of the letters that my mother would get from Aunt Helen and Uncle Mickey. And Uncle Mickey would work out every day. He went with his son's father-in-law, and they would go, yes, thank you. And they would go to a health club. And they would go and work out. So he stayed fit.
They'd go to breakfast together.
And they had a huge garden for a long time, too. But then Aunt Helen finally said they gave it up when Uncle Mickey passed away. And her grandson, Chris, lives with her. And I think we said Susan passed away. That was their daughter, Susan. She was in California. Her husband's name was Rick. Rick. Okay, the next...
Goodish. Wasn't that it?
Gunnish.
Gunny.
The next son in line is Carl, Uncle Carl.
He married Helen Matlock.
Right. Poor boy.
Carl.
Four, yeah.
Carl, Jerry,
Timmy
Carl,
and David.
David,
David's a
David,
Jerry.
Jerry, and Timmy.
4 boys. And his Uncle Carl's wife's name was what?
Helen.
Helen, that was it. That was it.
Yeah, they lived on the east side.
East 34.
She did. Helen lived on East 11th Street because I lived right there. Helen Matlock.
She didn't live on
Before
10th Street.
she was married or what?
Yeah, right before she was married.
Oh, that's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if they were separated, I never know.
They lived on 10th Street, didn't they? When they
No,
were
they
married?
lived on, as far as I know, they lived on East 34th. Carl built the cellar. He built the whole house himself. Eventually finished
Oh,
the house.
yeah, the house he built.
Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Uncle Carl is deceased as well as his wife. They're both deceased. Their children are all living though, aren't they? Carl, Timmy, David, and Jerry?
Here's the only one living.